on, you Spurs. Right, strap yourselves in, Spurs fans, because you're about to embark on a roller coaster ride through the highs and lows of being a Tottenham Hotspur fan on Come On You Spurs TV. Get ready for more twists and turns than Scott Parker through the midfield. Welcome back. Chuma, how are you?
Yeah, I'm wonderfully well, amazingly refreshed, ready for a North London derby, and it's actually kind of nice you said Scott Parker because everyone remembers the spinning guy to get off his mark, and then he created a chance for Aaron Lennon, 2-0 win in the pump of Harry Redknapp. So yeah, Scott Parker and North London derbies at the lane. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium still the lane for the rest.
I know, right? Yeah, it's version 195, right? Isn't it? I mean, we got what? We've been
195 matches.
I know, right? So listen, do you want to do the housekeeping, and then we'll come back to all the stats and all the things we can expect on this journey. All right, come on, let's do this. Come on.
My pleasure. Welcome to Come On You Spurs TV. If this is your first time watching the channel or you're returning and haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed? Click on the subscribe button. Notification bell lets you know when we bring out new, fresh content. Like, share, comment, let us know what you like about the channel, what you want to see us doing or talking about, or any topics you'd like us to talk about within the sphere of football, and especially about Tottenham Hotspur. And as always, come on, ye Spurs.
Come on, ye Spurs, indeed. Right, welcome back. So, listen, 195 version of Tottenham versus Arsenal. Obviously, it's been one of these historic things that, it's always a derby weekend. On current form, we looking at those guys up the road, I think to myself, oh my God, should we be fearful or should we be confident? I mean, what says you? I mean, it just come off the back of a 5-0 drubbing of other guys up the road in the other direction, westbound, right? And maybe they're not quite a good yardstick, if you like, of measuring where to look at them. But I mean, truth be told, those guys are not, they're in great form at the moment. So we have to give them that, shouldn't we?
No, we should. And you're saying 195. I'm thinking in terms of something else. 195 games where people are taking blood pressure medication as well, because like you said in the intro, roller coaster ride as a Spurs fan, even possibly as an Arsenal fan for some years as well. It was always something. But yeah, it's been a very, very special match. I think form goes out of the window usually, but the way those guys down the road are playing at the moment, you just have to look at it and you have to think that we have to be wary. We don't have to be afraid, because I believe what we're doing is moving in the right direction in terms of trying to get results. And they were playing well when we the opposite fixture as well. I went to their library. We went to the library, and we silenced them even further there by drawing when we almost snatched victory as well. So you have to look at it that you could be favored in the North London derby, but that doesn't really translate into a win. So they're playing really well. You have to take your hat off to them that they really took it to Chelsea yesterday, and it could be taxi for Pochettino today or at the end of the week.
I know, right? And it's not looking good for Mr. Poch up the road. He didn't have a good match against those guys yesterday. And I mean, from our perspective, we want them to let go of him, don't we?
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Look, we deep down inside, some of us love Pochettino, and he stained his reputation by joining those Chelsea human beings in Southwest London. And the sooner he leaves, the better. We can go back to loving him again and possibly leaving the door open for maybe a future collaboration with him. But I don't know if that's even going to be possible now that he's been Chelsea manager, or maybe even more possible because we always hire Chelsea managers anyway. But back to the North London derby, and yeah, yesterday we saw Arsenal play Played very, very well. For me, the player I think for them that I always look at as a standout guy is Trossard. Trossard reminds me of, and you see if you can get the comparison if I'm in the right direction. He reminds me of Jota at Liverpool. They're these guys that just know how to finish. You put them in a box, get them in a situation where they have a look at goal, and you don't know how they do it, but they just score. And they set the tone for everybody else. And Trossard scored yesterday. And it's that Jota kind of thing. He's that kind of player. He's just there. He's a fox in the boxy kind of player with good skills. But their movement yesterday was quite excellent. They're really trying to make a statement, trying to go for the title. Tottenham, on the other hand, people are saying we're going for fourth place like it's an achievement. And while I do understand as a debut season for Ange Postecoglou that it would be a huge deal, I'm not really fussed about getting fourth from Aston Villa or getting fifth or playing Europa or playing Champions League. Because to me, those things are just interruptions to the real deal. Tottenham need to win FA Cup, League, and you're bona fide. Those other ones are additionals as well. But to me, do the work. Let us play well. Let us get better at playing how we play, and the results will take care of themselves.
Yeah, I mean the key in most derby matches is not necessarily the form. I mean, if we look at the record in derbies so far, I think Arsenal are ahead, if you like, of all the 194 played up to now. They've had the most wins. They've won 84, haven't they? And then we've won 61, and there's been 52 draws in total. On current form, you probably have to give them what you might call give us rather underdog status, because everyone expects them to win the game on current form. But you and I know that in derbies, form goes out the window, and if we go by historical antecedents, every time we've had teams on form with likelihood of winning, they've ended up losing. So just hoping that this follows that pattern, if you like. But I mean,
I agree. Yeah. You talk. Sorry for cutting. It's like it's literally giving echoes of the game we played against Villa, where we were going to Villa and everybody expected Villa to spank us and beat us and solidify their fourth position. We ended up getting spanked the game after by Newcastle and the rest. But in that particular game, with all the emotions and everything else, the players really stepped up. And you're looking at this North London derby. We've had 2 weeks in between. We've also gotten the unfortunate news of Destiny Udogie having surgery. He's going to be out for 3 months. So that's effectively the end of his season. So a lot of people are really looking at this very pessimistically at the moment, because to them it's like, well, it's just one player, it's Destiny Udogie, and you can get someone else to fill in, not to the same level of quality as he does, but with Ange Postecoglou, the beauty of him as a coach and him instilling a certain belief in players. We played, you and I talked off air, we played Ben Davies and Emerson as centre backs against Man City at the Etihad. Which manager would ever do that? So you look at the same thing and you transfer that to this situation. Now, Destiny Udogie is going to be a huge loss for us, because he has this drive, his physicality, the way he breaks lines as well. But at the same time, this is an opportunity for someone else to step up, or someone we don't even expect to be more. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pape Matar Sarr play there, or Bentancur play there, and just invert into midfield, which is what they want to do, and then shield the defenders. So anything's possible in that game.
I mean, people have come up with all sorts of combinations and possibilities when it comes to options that he has on that score. You may have, like I said, I mean, the good old reliable Ben Davies, who I have no doubt whatsoever he can give a good account of himself in that position. Also, I mean, people have suggested that perhaps move Van der Ven in there, because Van der Ven's original position when he played in that role for I think it used to be in final. Was it on final? What did you buy him from?
No, I can't remember what team he was in. Either Volendam or one of
Oh
them
no,
teams.
he
But
bought,
it
he bought him
wasn't.
from
It wasn't
Wolfsburg.
Finland.
Wolfsburg. Sorry, yeah,
It was. He'd been at Wolver, but a Dutch team before that. I'm trying to remember. But
yeah.
anyway,
That's
yeah.
but yeah. So
They said the same thing. He's played left back. Yeah.
he's played left back in Wolfsburg, and so obviously it's not something that is totally new to him, but it may be new to him in Premier League. But he's got the speed. I'm not sure how hard he's going to match up in that position, and maybe move Dragusin into his regular position. So there's plenty of options for us to consider for that. I think the key from our own perspective is that, I mean, if we look at the match against Newcastle, where our midfield didn't really perform on the day, if you like. But then again, matches are always sort of won on a lot of little tiny margins, even though the scoreline doesn't quite do us a lot of justice in terms of the big picture. But in reality, that match could have turned on us making use of the couple of opportunities we had earlier in the game. If those opportunities had gone in, it might have been a different story. But hey, football is never about would have, should have, could have. It's what happens on the day, and we just hope that when we do get into gear and things click, I hope that things click for us on the day. We come up with the results. It's been a reasonable campaign for us thus far as a Tottenham team. The key is, how do we match ourselves up to ensure that not that we don't lose, but that we win that match convincingly on Sunday. What do you think? How do we set? How do you think Ange will set up to give us, make us competitive, not just competitive but dominant, if you like,
It's to me, we know Ange Postecoglou. He doesn't change how he plays. He doesn't change how he deploys his players. He positions them the same way. It's a question of the players focusing, being gritty, and executing. And when I mean executing, we talk about the Newcastle game and how Newcastle exploited so much in us, but we don't talk about the fact that we created chances in those games that we didn't take, which has been the story of our season, really. Not taking these chances has allowed other teams take the initiative and they themselves score and then try to impose their will on us. We have possession, but it's meaningless possession. We're not penetrating or we're not being effective. So I look at this game as it's a mindset game. If Tottenham are switched on from the very first minute, they focus, they give it their all, they leave everything on the pitch.
Yep.
The way they are positioned, the way he has set up to dominate or try to dominate possession, I don't see Spurs losing. I see Spurs doing stuff. I even see some very unsung heroes in this game. If Richarlison plays, I think Richarlison scores. If Werner plays, I think Werner scores. It's going to be one of those kind of games. It's going to be a scoring game. That's for certain, because Arsenal are coming. Make no mistake, Arsenal are coming to damage Spurs. They want to make a statement with this North London derby, and also make a statement not only in North London and bragging rights and all that stuff, St. Tottenham's Day and all that stuff that's going on, but they want to make a statement with regards to Man City, to tell them, listen, we're not going quietly into the night. So Spurs have to be ready to stand up to that first. It's a mental thing. I believe this period and is psychologically preparing them. I think it's more psychological than technical in this game. And if you have the mind, you have the heart, you're gritty, you're willing to grind out, you're focused as well. Don't lose focus. People like Bissouma, we talk about midfield is huge for Spurs. If Spurs midfield can stand, can actually take it to Odegaard and Rice, Partey if he plays, those kind of guys, then I see no reason why Spurs can not emerge victorious. That's just me, but I'm drinking the optimism.
Where do you think the battle will be won? In the midfield or in the attack? Because if you think about it, they seem to have a very good defense on paper. I mean, Saliba, Gabriel, and White, and the other young man on the left hand side. What's his who?
Kivio.
Right, who's been on the left hand side for them so far? They've kept quite a few clean sheets, and they've probably considered least in the league thus far from a defensive perspective. So they're quite difficult to breach. but it's not impossible. So we scored 2 against them away in the last match. They considered 2 against Villa also, so they're not impossible to deal with. But we've got, I mean, strong players like Son, who always has good match against them lot up the road as well. So I mean, and we've got Werner who's got Timo, and Timo Werner maybe has a point to prove. He missed a couple of good opportunities in the last game against Newcastle. Kulusevski hasn't been in a rich vein of form lately. It might be a time for him to rediscover his form. Richarlison has been out injured, and Son hasn't been at his utmost best. So plenty of opportunities for those guys up front to get themselves back into gear. Bissouma, again, his form seems to have been rather suspect lately, and yeah, so we're having what you might call a bit of a slight dip in form across the whole side. I mean, no better time in the season for you to up your game. Than this game. So yeah, it's a big opportunity for people to up the ante, if you like. Bentancur is slowly getting back into his stride. He's not quite there yet because he's had this long injury layoff. But yeah, we want to see what he can do, and hopefully games like this have opportunities for him to come up with the goods. I was asking that in terms of lineup, how do you think we're going to go? I mean, I would see someone like Vicario in goal. Porro, if he's fit, probably slot in handily in the right back position. Romero, if you like, would be there as no. The conundrum would be mainly the left back. Are we going to have Van der Ven in the middle and have Ben Davies, or what do you think is going to happen?
I think it's Ben Davies. I don't think Ange is going to reinvent the wheel. He goes with what works, and I think it's going to be Ben Davies. Ben Davies is dependable. He may not be as flashy, he may not be as attacking, but he can play inverted if it's just going to be simple and him helping midfield. I think I think it's going to be Ben Davies. My personal opinion.
All right, it'll be interesting to see how Ben Davies inverts. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The middle of the park is probably where the big decisions have to be made as well. Bissouma, like I said, hasn't been in great form lately. Do you think he's going to stick with the Bissouma, Sarr, Bentancur combination, or what's he going to do? What do you reckon? Also, Bissouma, Sarr, Maddison.
Yeah. So here's where I would break with convention. I would actually play Højbjerg, Bentancur, and Maddison.
Okay, Højbjerg, Bentancur, and Maddison for this sort of game. Okay, that's so where would you put Sarr on the bench?
Sarr's on the bench. Sarr lost form and he became, quite. However, if Pedro Porro doesn't pass the fitness test, I would place Sarr at right back.
Seriously? Oh wow.
Would he invert into midfield? Yeah, would. Okay. Because he has the legs to track back and he has the technical know-how and he knows about midfield as well. So him entering midfield is not a problem. Or him checking the right wing is not a problem as well. So I'll put him at right back.
Yeah, the defensive duties there would be against the likes of Martinelli and who would they have in that position? Trossard.
I think he would match up perfectly. I think he would match up perfectly with those guys. So if Porro doesn't make it, I would put Sarr as right back. Controversial to some, but
interesting.
Rather him than Emerson, really.
Up front, what would you go for? I mean, classic standard is Werner, Son, and Johnson on current form. Would you retain that combination or would you change it?
I would change it. I would go Son, Richarlison, and Kulusevski.
Right, Son through the middle, presumably, right?
Yes. So Richarlison playing as striker, Son on the left.
Kulusevski, Richarlison through the middle and Son on the left. Is that correct? Or
Son on the left, Kulusevski on the right. Kulusevski helps us retain possession and progress the ball. Son in that half space can turn and curl the ball into goal. Richarlison is a nuisance. So someone like Saliba and Gabriel, you just need a nuisance striker for them. You just need someone who just make himself hold up the ball. He's okay. He's not that great, but he's okay. But you just need a nuisance. And then you need those kind of things to allow James Madison do his business. So James Madison, this is the game where he has to be dancing and moving around and trying to create for the people on the sides. So all the protection is so Madison can create. I think if Madison plays as well, and then off the bench you have so many players coming that can come in. Lo Celso can be good in these kind of games. He can hold on to the ball as well. Sa, if he's coming off the bench, good. Werner would be ideal coming off the bench when they are tired or they don't, just to run in behind. So, and Johnson as well. Him and Johnson could be, really, really, really amazing impact substitutes, in my opinion. But we'll see what Ange does.
Interesting. We would love to hear from you guys from home or wherever you're watching this. What your opinion is on the team selection or the proposed team selection we will put out there. So let's just go over that team selection again. In goal, Vicario. And then on the right-hand side, we have Pedro Porro if he's fit. And then we have Romario and Mickey van der Ven. And hopefully Ben Davies at the left-hand side of the defense, inverting as usual. So we'll see how that works out. In the middle, we're going to have, according to this our proposed selection, Bentancur, Højbjerg, and Madison. And up front, Richarlison, Son on the left, and Kulusevski on the right. Let us know what you think of that selection, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Scoreline. This is the scoreline, the big one. Tell us, how do you guys going to pronounce?
I think they're going to score because Tottenham are playing a high line and they have the kind of players to exploit it. However, I think Tottenham will also score goals as well. So I was shuttling between a 2-2 and a 3-2. So always go for wins on this channel. So I'll go for a 3-2 to Spurs.
All right, good one. I'll go for a 2-1 Tottenham. Yeah, they might score. We'll give them that. But I think we'll come away winners in this one. Tough one, but hey, my heart says 2-1 to Tottenham. I don't know about what the head is saying, but hey, let's leave the head for now. We'll stick on the positive.
It'll be a good game regardless. We'll just see how it pans out.
So tune in 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon, the 28th of April, and yeah, it'll be a nice birthday present for me if they do. When they do end up winners, I mean, a belated birthday present for me. Yes, so yes, that'll be good. So guys, I look forward to seeing you, and let's hear your comments in the comment section. Thanks for joining us. In the meantime, come on, ye Spurs!
Come on, ye Spurs!
Come on, ye Spurs!